Good afternoon, Mzansi, and a very warm welcome to you. This is Afternoon Express, and my name is Palisa Dembe. Now, you already know when we're starting off the show in the kitchen, it means we are cooking along. That gives you the opportunity to cook along with us side by side from the top of the show until the end. Now, I cannot do such alone. With me are my handy dandy head chefs. We've got Chef Dumi. How you doing, girl?
I am doing very well, Palisa, because today's cook along speaks a lot to me. So I'm very excited today.
Oh, already we're giggling because I'm sensing a lot of sweet treats, something a little sugary, and of course we had to call on, Inkakara of the cake industry. I'm talking about Miss Sassy Bakes. Welcome to the loft.
Hello, darling. How are you?
I'm good. No, you've got such incredible beauty. It almost looks like a work of art in front of us. So let us know what's up your sleeve. What's on the menu?
So today we're going to be making a vanilla butter cake, a date and caramel cake, and we're going to make a caramel butter cake.
Delicious.
Absolutely delicious.
3 cakes that truly do pack a flavor punch. Now, when it comes to whipping together the first cake, what do we need? What are some of the ingredients that we can find in front of us?
Okay, so what we've got some pure butter, granulated sugar, some eggs, preferably free range, some Clover full cream milk honey, and some sour cream, also from Clover. And we've got our cake flour, our baking powder, and our bicarbonate of soda.
Delicious. Okay. So is this essentially just the regular, normal ingredients that you'll find, Dumi, when it comes to whipping up cakes?
I think that's what I love about it. The fact that there's really, her cakes, the final product looks like it's worth $1 million, but she literally uses the simplest, most basic
There we go.
Well,
all
let's
the love that goes into it. Huh?
Exactly.
I can believe that. Well, let's get cooking, ladies. What's the first step in whipping this together?
Okay, so what we're going to do the butter and the sugar first.
Okay.
Okay, so let's do that.
So we're creaming these together, basically.
Creaming this together, yeah.
Like you said, there is a lot of love involved here. It is the month of love after all.
Absolutely, Anne.
So what consistency are we looking for here? We're just creaming the butter and the sugar together?
Yeah, we're creaming butter and sugar together, so we're looking for a nice, silky, smooth texture.
Silky, smooth.
So, get out all that arm power that we've got going there, ladies.
Elbow grease, Palisa.
There we go, there we go. And look, you are more than welcome to use an electric whisk.
Okay.
Okay? And like, you know, your normal machine. And then also, I prefer using, obviously, the industrial thing.
Of course.
Because I don't have time for this no more, darling.
Also, you make it in large batches, so you also need to...
There we go.
Yeah. So for anyone that's doing this at home, like you mentioned, it doesn't have to be anything too fancy. So if I don't have a spatula, if, like, in all honesty, I don't have a spatula, a wooden spoon would
A wooden
work.
spoon would also work.
Okay.
I mean, we make it work.
All right, perfect. Okay. So we just keep creaming this until it is a silky texture, like you said.
There we go.
All right. And what is the reason for actually creaming the butter and the sugar first without, adding the eggs immediately?
Because, you know, so it's just to, you know, whenever you're baking, this is a very important part, is that you need to ensure that your butter and your sugar is fully incorporated.
Okay.
Because you can't, otherwise you're going to have a very grainy texture, you know, when you're eating. And we don't want, we want at least the cake to be smooth on the tongue.
Of course. Okay, no problem. And then at which point do we start adding our eggs?
Once we see we've got a much more smoother consistency compared to this. Okay, guys, I think we've got it.
Yeah, I was going to ask. Let's maybe move on.
So no jumming needed today. This is all the jumming you're going to do.
Perfect.
Okay? Fantastic. So now we can add our eggs one at a time. And the reason why we do that, we don't want all the eggs, you know, putting all the eggs together at the same time, because that also affects the baking. I mean, you've got a bit of, you know, a background in baking and stuff, so you should know.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's just, easier that way.
So we add it in, whisk it all together first.
Yeah.
Make sure it disappears into the mixture, and then add the other egg as well.
There we go.
All right, perfect.
So 1 egg fully incorporated, and then you go on to your next.
Okay, perfect. And that actually also lightens the batter, so...
There we go, fantastic. Then you get a nice smooth consistency going.
Perfect. It's actually lightening up already. And do we have to whisk it hard, or can we just basically mix it all?
No, just until it's not whisking it hard, just until it's fully incorporated.
Perfect.
Treat it like a baby.
Okay.
Absolutely. I'm already seeing it.
Gentle hands.
Smooth on the tongue.
I already see it lightening up for sure, making my job a lot easier here in the kitchen.
Fantastic, darling. So now you can look pretty with some elbow grease.
Love it.
Perfect.
And then we just add the third one.
Okay.
I'm actually on my last one. Clearly, I'm moving too quickly.
You're moving too fast, darling.
Okay, I'll slow down a bit.
Slow it down a bit, okay?
Slow it down a bit. The aim is not to sweat. It's not a competition.
There we go.
Okay, so
I'm
basically,
loving
a quick recap for the viewers
Yeah.
who just joined us. We've got some butter and sugar that we've creamed together over
There we
here.
go,
And
yeah.
then we started adding our eggs one at a time,
One at a
making
time.
sure that it's fully incorporated before adding
100%.
the next egg.
100%.
Perfect, all right. So that is in essence the first part of our batter for the cake.
100%.
Awesome. What is the next step?
Next step, vanilla essence.
Okay.
There we go.
So in this cake, because we're making vanilla cake,
Yeah.
this is why we're using vanilla essence.
Yeah.
If we were making a different kind of sponge, you'd use a different essence, or do you always still need vanilla?
Look, it depends now because this is such a nice universal batter that you can use. So play around with it. Add some nuts.
Ooh.
You know, add maybe some caramel essence instead of vanilla essence, and you know, maybe some pecan nuts or something like that.
Okay.
Do some, you know, maybe vanilla essence with some pistachio. So
That sounds amazing.
that's an amazing tip.
Vanilla pistachio actually sounds like such a great combination. Awesome. So
Okay, so with our flour,
Okay.
very important that flour always needs to be sifted very well.
Okay.
And when you are done doing that, always use the whisk and just incorporate that air so that you can have a nice, beautiful flour to work with. It also allows for the baking to be so much better.
Okay.
You get a nice smoother consistency than you don't. I don't know if you've noticed that sometimes when you bake, you end up having like clots inside. Darling, we don't want clots inside, okay? It needs to be
Absolutely.
beautifully aerated. So now I've got a method. There's a method to this madness. So you're going to use half of your flour first.
Okay.
Okay.
Half of the flour.
There, yeah.
Okay.
Put half of your flour in. You first incorporate that.
And I see you haven't put the raising agents in first yet.
Ooh, darling, let us just do that. It's not a problem, not a problem.
Okay.
I usually just put everything in together.
Okay.
Okay. We can
Into
mix
the
it through.
second half, that
There we
is.
go.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Okay. All right, when we fold in the flour, do we use a whisk? Do we use a spatula? What is best for you?
No. Now we're going to use a spatula. Thank you for that.
All right, so we're folding in basically that first half of the
there we
batter
go.
of the flour.
And this is the method, right? It's in, it's out, and in.
Out.
So this is the folding method, right?
Okay.
There we go.
And also maybe, so people don't know, what is the reason for this and not like using a whisk and doing it vigorously?
Okay, so I always believe the moment when it comes to cream, when you need to whisk, you know, like make a creamy substance and you want volume, that's the time when you whisk, when you're using the whisking action.
Okay.
But when you're making any form of batter, you want to be gentle. You don't want to vigorously move it around or play too much with it.
Okay.
Right?
All right, awesome. So we basically use the folding method to mix in the dry.
You can
and
also
the wet.
use the spatula and almost like just smooth it through so that you make sure that everything is fully incorporated.
Yes, because I was about to say that I can see quite nicely the outsides are incorporating that flour and that's getting mixed in quite nicely. But I also don't want to neglect the inside, the middle.
There we go. Fantastic.
The wow.
And the reason why you do this is obviously there's a lot of science behind it, but the reason why you do this so that you can get a smoother consistency, and also when it comes to baking, it also allows the raising agent to have more room. So it releases the gluten, the gluten in the flour, while doing this, while doing the 3-to-1 ratio. Okay?
And when this first half is already incorporated quite nicely, quite thoroughly within our mixture, what's our next step?
Now we're going to use this bowl.
Okay.
Use our sour cream. Okay.
And sour cream.
Okay, we can use the same whip, it's fine, because it was just butter. So this is a half a cup of sour cream.
Okay, perfect. So the sour cream gets mixed in with our...
The sour cream with your full cream clover milk.
The full cream clover milk that stays fresh for up to 18 days.
Oh, I'm loving it.
And I don't know if you know this, because at some point I thought it was 55 quality test. I've been corrected to be told that it actually undergoes 80 quality test.
Really?
So this product is of another standard altogether. It's in a class of its own.
Fantastic.
So we've mixed it together, the sour cream and the milk.
Yeah. Then you'll get a nice, smooth consistency.
Okay.
So people can just have a look and see what we're talking about. Absolutely beautiful. We've got no, like, segments of
the
sour cream, okay? Now we're going to do, remember, very important, your flour ratio is always 3 parts and your liquid is 2. So we first did half of the flour, okay? Now we're going to do half of this mixture, your liquid.
Half of it.
There we go. Okay.
And we fold it in.
We fold this in as well.
Okay, perfect. So in essence, we're doing a dry, wet,
100%.
mixture.
Yeah.
Until the whole batter basically is fully
There we go.
incorporated.
We don't discriminate between the flour and the liquid.
Yum, yum in my tum. Now, Mzansi, if you want to get in on this incredible magical cake madness, head over to afternoonexpress.co.za, where we've detailed the full ingredients list and recipe so you can be baking along with us. Now, on social media, we've got to fill in the blank. There's no better cake than blank. Use that hashtag Afternoon Express in all of your comments. But we've got more baking coming up.
I'll go. I wanna say,
Oh, he's back.
move way.
Clover Fresh Milk.
Made with love by Clover.